Thank you, sir. Good morning, everybody. I'm Dr. Bruce Leslie. I'm the Chancellor of the Alamo Colleges, and I'm really pleased to be back to the Asia Society Texas Center, where I had served in the past when I was Chancellor for the Houston Community College system. In fact, I led a delegation from here to Vietnam some years ago, and it's great to see a couple of my old friends here, Charles Foster and Bobby Singh in particular, who I haven't seen in a while. Our initiative began a while back when the government issued a general call to try to encourage international organizations to help in the skill training development area. Unfortunately, the issue of budget became an inhibitor, and so we decided that we needed to try a different approach. I was blessed to have met Jiten Agarwal, and he in turn introduced us to Consul General Ray. And so through Mr. Agarwal's other business interests in education, the Cambridge Education Development Organization, we organized a small group that includes Houston Community College and Lone Star College, which are here in this area, in the Alamo Colleges, to see if we might find a way in. So interestingly, Mr. Ray was enormously helpful in helping us to understand how the system works, who's on which playing field, and the best way for us to make entree there. I think somewhat coincidentally, the vibrant Gujarat Global Summit was about to take place, and I was invited to give a presentation there and had the pleasure of meeting Minister Rudy, who is the Minister of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, and in that context had the opportunity to engage with him. In fact, through General Counsel Ray's good offices, we've extended an invitation to him to come to Texas, both so that we can better understand his vision for skill development and also to help him see some of the models that we've developed here that are having very, very beneficial effect. I appreciated the comment earlier that the European system might be more appropriate, and perhaps in some ways it has traditionally been, and of course India's roots come from that system, but the American model is continuously emerging as well, and we've developed, particularly in San Antonio, a hugely collaborative and cooperative model between employers, between the government officials, elected officials, the city and county, with the state, federal government, as well as the school districts, universities, and the community colleges, working with chambers of commerce. So collectively, we've developed a methodology now that is creating real pathways and pipelines to meet specific needs employers have. So it's an employer demand model as opposed to a pushing model. We're just creating boiler inspectors when there is no boiler to inspect. So the project we're defining as a dynamic collaboration ecosystem, and it was that model that I presented at the Vibrant Gujarat conference. The key issue for us are the partners, and so this is a pilot, and this is the first effort, so it is still yet to be proven, and it's still yet to expand to its full potential. But again, with the guidance of both Jiten and Mr. Ray, we think that we now have a foundation to do the good work. So the partners include the Directorate of Employment and Training for Gujarat State, GERMI, which is the Gujarat Energy Research and Management Institute. That's one of the universities locally. We are utilizing their facilities to deliver the training for the individuals. The ITI, the Industrial Training Institute, it's a national public institution, and it is their faculty that we are training. So the model is a train-the-trainer model because we get so much more leverage doing that than if we tried to be yet another training organization directly training the students in the country. We just don't have the capacity to do that, and frankly, I don't know that we could add much value at that level. But I think we do add value, and I'll give you a couple of quotes at the end of my remarks that affirm that in the train-the-trainer model, where we can help the faculty enhance their skill sets, then we're in a much better position to have a more positive and leveraged impact. The focus, and I appreciate the reference to the energy sector. I know the Prime Minister Modi also has a strong interest in alternative energies, so our project is to train the trainers in solar and wind energy development and installation. So we're at the grassroots level with the ITI system to train. Right now our first project is 45 individuals, and I think we may have a photo. I don't know if that was given. I provided a couple of photos. So, well, that's one of the social moments. And I will digress for a second to say, not only did we have the most delightful experience of feeling welcomed and honored by all those that we engaged with, but our two faculty who are there are constantly being invited to the homes of the students and out to lunch and whatever, and they were quite impressed that one of our faculty is a vegetarian and really does enjoy the Indian level of spice. And I think that overwhelmed them. They embraced him immediately when they found out that, particularly in Gujarat, because in Ahmedabad, vegetarianism is one of the primary attributes of the culture. I think there's another picture there of our student being invited to a festival. And so this faculty member on your left, again, it's that social sense that the students are engaging our faculty. They're not just a separate group, they're now integrating themselves into the community of the students, and that's critically important. I had a third picture of the whole class, and there it is. So here's the whole group, and they were, again, preparing for lunch. We learned that meals are very, very important in India, just as they are here in Texas. We cannot do anything without a meal, particularly if it has barbecue or tacos associated with it. In India, I frankly could not really understand all the plethora of different dishes that we were served every single day, but the social context is so critical to us. So part of our dynamic model includes the idea that we're going to focus on several key areas. One is communications, and that's always a fundamental problem. We learned too that even though both the students and the faculty speak English, we needed a translator. Right? The Texas accent was just too hard, and I think vice versa. And so building that kind of understanding, so the next time we'll know that up front and we won't have to waste any time. Understanding the culture, sharing the culture, engaging and enjoying the culture is fundamental in this. We'll never have any success in India if we aren't able to respect, recognize, and engage and enjoy the culture. And of course the distance. One of the blessings we've had is that Jiten and his team have been on the ground level working with us, making sure that when we have a little bump that we're able to deal with it right away. I had some experience doing that in Vietnam. I mentioned I led a delegation from here, but I had established a college in Vietnam some years ago that's still part of Houston Community College. And one of the things we learned on a daily basis is we needed to have that level of communications there, one way or the other, otherwise the program just isn't going to work. Now that's been successful for over 15 years now, so I have every expectation this will be successful as well. Project management is a key area, and partner collaboration is a key part. And on that one, that's the issue on how do we engage not just the students and the college, the schools, but particularly the employers and the government officials. Finally, I want to just share two quotes. One is from one of the students, Nikunj Pamar. He says, "This is really good real-world training for us. It's good knowledge for renewable energy sources, which is an important part of the effort by our government to expand alternative energy sources in the future." Thank you very much to Mr. Danielle and William and the Alamo Colleges. And this is the one I love from one of our faculty. It kind of comes full circle when you hear what I'm about to share with you. He says, "In the lectures, I stress to these guys with my full passion that they are the change. They are the quality standards. They are the seed crystals that can change all of India if they really want to." I mean, what better reference to the Indian philosophy than that one. What I learned in my visit to Ahmedabad is that quality, and we heard this earlier, quality is a real issue there. I attended a forum while I was there too from the World Bank And the whole focus was on quality. How does the Indian educational system develop a quality mechanism? Because you have no way to really evaluate it. So that's one of the things that we're building right into our very foundation of our program. So I'm just so pleased that I've had the pleasure and the benefit of being able to not only go to India and participate in the vibrant Gujarat Global Summit, to engage both with Mr. Ray, who's been just an excellent guide to us, but also Jiten and his team, both here and in India. So obviously, we're more than happy to engage with others. We look forward to the other states, perhaps seeing the success of this project and coming to us in the future. But our goal here is to work with India, because, again, even the investment issue is really critical. Local Indian companies need skill training, but so do those who are investing in India. And at the conference, there were representatives from Cisco and Suzuki, as well as Tata. So Tata needs skilled labor to make automobiles or buses. So does Suzuki, so does Cisco, so does GM, and so does small companies and big companies. So that's part of what our hope is, that we'll be able to grow this, develop this, and contribute to the business development of India through skilled labor. Thank you very much.